Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Tony Award winner Janet McTeer has returned to Broadway alongside Jason Butler-Harner and Dylan Baker in Teresa Rebeck's new play, Bernhardt, Hamlet. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. It's about someone from another time, but it was so modern.
Well, that's what's amazing about Teresa, is that she's taken an icon of Once Upon a Time and spoken through her to all the things that are relevant today, and while still somehow managing to make it amusing and clever and insightful and then slightly shocking. She's such a clever playwright. It's extraordinary.
I thought I knew everything about Sarah Bernhardt. I mean, I'm a theater nerd until I came to this, and I was like, wow, there's so much to learn from this. What amazed you the most when you were working on this?
Do you know what amazed me most was the fact that there are biographies and written about her, and people have all these views about her, and they seemed to forget about how terrified she got. She suffered from terrible stage fright. And that to me was, and she had no family. I mean, she did, but they didn't love her, they didn't care about her. And I just thought, there's a person, and she came from nothing and turned herself into this thing. That's somebody who has an extraordinary force of character combined with an absolute lack of original love. And what are those two? Where do those two things take you? And what do they turn? What do they turn up? How do they form a person? I don't know whether I'm doing it, but I do hope I hope she's smiling somewhere. She might not, but I hope she is. At the idea that I'm trying to show her heart and how much she cared and loved what she did and her passion for the work. Women, ugh. All we ever get to do is sit around and mope for love. The power, that's what eludes us.
Does power elude you?
No. Maybe that's why Hamlet's driving me mad. All that privilege and he can't figure out how to do anything. A woman would never have got away with it.
Many women do nothing.
And who cares about them? A woman who does nothing is nothing. A man who does nothing is Hamlet.
Well, it's really interesting. It's such a lovely company, and it's been done so well by the director, Moritz von Stuttnagel, and Teresa Rebeck, with the ability to write and change things and make it work. That it's been glorious, really, and it's also exciting because I don't think people have any idea what they're going to see, and it's sort of like a modern day period piece. And I think a lot of people are in for a real thrill.
What is it like sharing first the rehearsal room and then sharing the stage with Janet McTeer?
Well, Janet and I met on Ozark, which was incredible, but we just had 2 scenes. She's the most loving, playful, joyful, astute actress that I have experienced in a very, very long time. I mean, she's phenomenal. She's so alive, every part of her, every atom, every finger, every toe. And so to act opposite that is just heaven. And in the rehearsal room, it's a new play. It required work, it required finessing, it required fine-tuning. And then once an audience came, we did so much. And trying to get to the meat of what the play is about with the many different gorgeous ideas that Teresa has given us has been a real pleasure. A real pleasure. Really one of the highlights of my career, without a doubt, period.
I am perfectly suited to play Hamlet. No one cares about his masculinity, so-called. They care about the magnificent nuance of his heart.
Yes.
And his passion.
Yes.
And his joy.
His joy? He's the most miserable and melancholic of men.
No one is going to come to the theatre to see me play a depressed, melancholic boy.
Oh, he's not a boy.
Oh, I am not going to argue with you about how old he is because I'm right. He is a passionate, confused youth with the mind of a man of 40. A young actor of 20. Cannot understand the philosophy of Hamlet. And an older actor no longer looks the part, and nor has he the ready heart of the woman who can combine the light carriage of youth with the mature thought of a man. A woman more readily looks the part, feels the part, and has the suppleness of mind to grasp it. Yes.
You know, it was about 10 years ago that I started thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know where ideas come from. You know, the muse kind of shows up. And when I first thought about writing about Sarah Bernhardt doing Hamlet, I thought, why is it so controversial? You know, the very simple questions that arise from an event like that. You know, when the men played the women for so long, and when she did it, she was the most famous person in the world, and it caused a real ruckus. You know, there's real controversy, and I think there are a lot of very fascinating questions around that historical moment that, you know, could be pulled out of the ether around it.
The first time I read this, I was so excited by the conversation that Teresa wanted to have about representation on stage, about what does it mean for a woman to be on stage? What is a woman's tragedy the same as a man's tragedy? Can we take them in the same breath and as seriously as one another? And that to me felt really vibrant and exciting, and something to fight for and something to discuss. And frankly, with everything that's happening in the news this week, it's exactly what we should be talking about, which obviously we couldn't plan or whatever, but you know, this play was really on the pulse of something that felt really vibrant and valuable to me, to several other people, and we were excited by that.